everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 106. I'm your host, Casey, and with me we have Zero.
Hi, guys. I had to change my icon a few times on Skype because it kept saying like a penis. I didn't say it. It didn't look like it to me. It was a ghost with a top hat. Gosh darn it.
It was a penis with a top hat. The face was on the bell end.
Screw you.
And Guy.
Hello.
And Kenshi.
Hi, I'm Kenshi618, and fuck Undertale.
Yeah. Again, I'm pretty much with Kenshi on this one. I'm sick of hearing about it.
It's got him really. It's really blown up in terms of just how much it's hyped everywhere now.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're lucky enough to get to it before then kudos. But now it's
Now it's getting to the point where everyone's sick of hearing about it and just doesn't want to play it on principle.
Yeah. Which is regrettable because it is a good game, but like I understand if you're being turned off to it because nobody will shut up about it.
But what does it matter if other people like it too? It's stop you from liking it.
It's that everyone won't shut up about it, so when you do get around to playing it, it's just, it's that thing that everyone won't shut up about it, and you're annoyed with it at the very beginning.
Yeah. So if that's your response to it, I'd say just wait until the hype calms down, discussion about it calms down, so people who haven't gotten a chance to try it, you can just try it then, see if you like it.
Funnily enough, the same thing didn't really happen with Portal, did it? Or at least not for a long while. It had the same kind of, oh, holy shit, this is amazing reaction from just about everyone, but... Well. Anyway. So, we start with what we're doing. So what have we been doing? Let's go with me first, because mine will have been short, and I won't forget it that way. Okay, so... first, it's kind of disappointing that Slice is not here. By the way, Slice is not going to be here for at least another couple of episodes because he's basically given up on his internet. So, they're apparently changing providers or something like that. I think that's what that message said. Okay, I'm going to read his message because, fuck it. Yeah, probably safe to say I'll be out of any podcast-related stuff until we get better internet. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's finally degraded to the point of being completely unusable and isn't looking to get better. We're looking into getting something quote-unquote better, though, because they refuse to hook up the perfectly good internet box already installed right outside our house otherwise. So, yeah. He's going to be out of commission for a couple weeks. At least. So, yeah. I do actually owe him an apology, though. Because if you'll remember him telling us some stories about how he has no game, yeah, neither do I.
What'd you do?
Yeah. Okay, so I was on my way home from work on Saturday when I was covering lunch hour, and got stopped by this girl who was doing the apparently we call it chugging in this country, charity mugging, when they just stop you in the street and say, hey, donate to this cause. Yeah. She was doing that, so she stopped me, and I basically said, yeah, I am employed, but I don't earn anywhere near enough to think about donating to causes or anything like that. I need money for living. So, and she basically said, yeah, that's fine. And she was lovely and had this very nice Spanish accent from Spain, and we just ended up having a chat for like 10-15 minutes, and it was nice. And I really should have asked her out. Like, really, really. But I bottled it, so...
Come on. Those are the times when you can. Because what's the point? What's the worst that happens if she says no? You never see her again? Ugh.
Yeah. I know. So, yeah. Sorry, Slicer. I don't have any game either, so you're not alone.
And now that this has happened, you're going to see her again, and you're going to pussy out the second time, so...
Yeah, probably. Yeah, not really going to deny that. Yeah, I suck. I'm aware. Yeah, so that happened. I was very disappointed in myself. Other than that, had a weird encounter on the bus going home from work.
Oh boy!
On an update. I think it was Tuesday. So I sit down in my seat on the bus. Some dude sits down behind me and props his arms up on the backrest of the chair next to me, and he sort of elbows the back of my head accidentally. So I turn around, and apropos of pretty much nothing, we start this really weird conversation that goes... I actually wrote down the train of... Let's call it logic. It's not logic, but let's call it that. So he asked me if I was albino, which I said, yeah. And he asked if I have red eyes, so I showed him my eye color, which is blue. He said, did you know that blue eyes are technically mutants, because that's only a thing that's happened in the past 500,000 years?
Yeah, that's true.
It's entirely not true, because that would imply that every possible evolutionary change is in fact a mutation, and everyone is a mutant, and everything is a mutant.
Everything's a mutant, yeah.
Yeah, you could argue that.
Blue eyes, though, are a mutation, just like about everything else, though.
So, from that, we've basically gone to the conversation of evolution, and what we would be like if we had no thumbs.
Dude, that would suck.
Yeah.
I couldn't play games. I love my
You'd
thumbs.
have little flappy flap hands. That'd be great. But yeah, also it would suck. You couldn't actually grip anything. But you'd have flap.
That was basically a thing we got to, which was like, how would you, like, say, for example, Cro-Magnon man, how would they grip a spear? So we basically thought, like, okay, they would have maybe longer fingers so they could just wrap right the way around it. And from that we went to Mr. Fantastic with the stretchy hands and stuff, because he's sort of pseudo made of rubber, even though it's kind of bullshit.
This conversation may sound weird, but it's nothing weirder than the conversations I have with my friends on a regular basis.
Yeah, but again, I still don't know this guy's name.
Isn't that great?
I had not met this guy before this, and we went from, obviously, Mr. Fantastic to Luffy, because apparently he is also an anime fan. And it was at this point when I found this out that I was starting to wonder, is this a real person, or am I just talking to a hallucination that is reflecting my own thoughts?
Either way, you should have invited him on.
Yeah, probably. Missed opportunity. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, we ended up having basically a half-hour conversation about Monkey D. Luffy and how his powers work. Yeah.
Sounds like an awesome bus ride.
It pretty much was, yeah.
Like, there's no downside to that.
I was expecting something creepy to happen. Nothing creepy happened in this story.
Yeah.
You said bus and met someone on the bus, and I'm like, uh-oh. Someone got a penis on the shoulder or something. I don't know.
No, there was a guy that had, like, no sense of personal space on the bus today, though.
There always is, isn't there?
Using my leg as an armrest. I was not enthused about this.
Did he just look at you and just wink?
No, he didn't acknowledge my existence. He's just sort of there with his arm on my leg.
And you let him keep his arm on your leg.
The thought constantly went through my mind of, dude, learn some fucking personal boundaries, please. But, you know, you don't complain if you're British. Most people, anyway.
No, you just move your leg.
Yeah, I did that too, and he didn't care.
Alright.
So, yeah, that guy was an asshole. Anyway. So, yeah, that's pretty much my week. I don't think I did much of... Oh, I wanted to talk about briefly, there's a new show that came out recently. Heroes Reborn.
Oh, yeah.
I've been watching that.
Yeah, so someone else watched it at least.
Yeah,
okay, so... I haven't watched the third episode, by the way, so don't spoil me on that. But
the third one isn't out yet, is it? It's only...
Came out a couple days ago, I
the
think.
third one's out, I just haven't caught up on it.
Yeah, so what do we think about Zachary Levi and his wife's characters? Because I thought that was really fucking weird.
I kind of liked it. They weren't typical bad guys, and yeah, I think they deserve credit for that. They were a bit weird, but they were like a good weird sort of thing, an interesting weird.
Yeah.
The characterization just kind of came off as odd to me.
It's a little bit forced, I feel like.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more that they were trying to go for unhinged sort of thing.
Yeah,
My wife is just so enthusiastic about all this, though.
Yeah, she is incredibly so. But the thing is, the husband, we are already getting the maybe what we're doing is wrong thing, and this is the first episode.
Yeah, and we haven't even
usually
seen them
you get some development.
You could criticize the entire program for that. Every character is being a bit rushed. I think I think they're trying to introduce too many. And it's just
it's a limited run. It's only like, they're not going to have another season or anything. It's going to.
All right, so they're basically just doing the first 13.
It's only going to be 13 episodes, so that's why they're trying. That's why it seems kind of rushed, just because they don't have multiple seasons to build characters over.
Yeah, that went so well with fucking season 2 of Heroes.
Yeah.
Which was literally the beginning of the end of that show.
I do like the El Vengador whole.
That's pretty cool. I really like that.
It's a guy who
he dresses like a lucha libre.
And he's a hero, but he doesn't have the current guy doesn't have powers. So it's a powerless vigilante hero in a world where people have powers. It's basically Batman, except a luchador doesn't have money. It's poor luchador Batman.
I'm gonna have to look up on Google and see if I can find the Batman that's got a luchador mask.
I think episode 3 has Hero in it, but I haven't seen it yet.
It doesn't.
No. I saw it in the preview.
I think it might have had a flashback to him or something, but
I think it was, what's his name? I've forgotten his name. His buddy. I've forgotten what his name was. I think he was on the back of the box of the game that they end up playing. He was the designer or something.
I didn't like that. The whole girl who could enter video games, that bit was...
Yeah.
She was the weakest character out of them all.
Well, she wasn't really a character. She was, hey, I'm going to do a thing. That was her character.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, what her character really is, other than I'm just going to go punch stuff and slice things. Where's my father?
Well, her dad's probably Hero.
I keep hearing that being said, I don't think it is.
She had Hero's sword, but I don't think...
Yeah.
Her dad's probably Hero who traveled back in time so that he could have her earlier or something, because it was needed to fix the timeline so he could have the giant string board thing, conspiracy board, make sense or something. I don't fucking know.
That whole thing is confusing. But still El Vengador!
Yeah. Who else was in that show? I've forgotten.
Yeah, the teleporter kid.
There's teleporter.
Yeah, the teleporter kid.
He was alright. He's the new Claire.
Yeah, there was some interesting stuff going on there. I'm kind of curious about the guy that's following him around kind of creepily, but
every time I see him, I think of Mr. Sanders. Oh my gosh. He has a little white beard and he's in a white suit and he's just sitting in a car and I'm just like, you're Mr. Sanders, stop it.
Colonel Sanders.
No, he's Mr. because he's not a colonel. At least not canonically confirmed to be a colonel. He might be a colonel. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah. And then we have Noah Bennett, who I don't care about anymore.
Yeah. I don't care about the Bennett family at all anymore. I don't want to spend time with them because I want to see more of El Vengador and other cool things. But Noah Bennett's just kind of
Who? There's also that weird random girl in the Arctic, isn't there? Who's changing the eclipse or something like that.
There's the Arctic girl who's saving the world somehow, and there's the invisible friend she has.
Yeah, rather than introduce their character, yep, she's here doing this thing right at the end. It's
I forgot about that bit.
It's foreshadowing something really, really bad is apparently going to happen, and they need heroes to solve it or something.
Well, I thought it wasn't bad enough to make me stop watching.
Yeah, there are enough good parts to it.
Yeah. I want more El Vengador. I want more of the teleporting kid, I guess. And beyond that, I don't really care about the others much.
I want to see more people with unique powers, like the Gassy Priest. Freaking turns into like a gas. It's just
okay.
Weird, but I like it.
It was also that tracker girl as well, wasn't it? Right. She's
Molly
Walker.
The con artist lady.
Yeah.
So she's a thing too.
I thought she was fairly interesting. It's just
ish.
I don't think we've seen enough of her.
I'm less interested in her than I am in El Vengador. I'm sorry, El Vengador is too cool.
Vengador. Okay. So far in Linked Up we have Luchador Batman.
Basically. I'd just watch a show about El Vengador, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know who wouldn't. For any other shows that have started recently? Arrow and Flash have started again, but that was only last night, and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to watch it, to be honest.
I lost interest in Flash for a while now.
Yeah, I probably didn't help with that, so...
I fell out with Arrow.
I think at one point I skipped several episodes, and I watched the last 2 episodes of the season, but... Because the pacing in that show is... In that show is very slow. Yeah, its pacing was atrocious.
The thing that really, really gets me about Flash more than it should is that the science just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, yeah.
It doesn't even pretend to make sense. It's just ugh. I mean, I don't care if it's not real. It's just, it has to be consistent. It gets me that.
I give that a pass because comic books.
Yeah,
I can't give it the same pass for the bullshit where he's trying to beat someone who's using a gun, and he doesn't just run into them and take the gun off.
The problem I have with Flash is that he's so fast that most problems should be solved relatively quickly unless the villain has a special ability to stop that. It's this villain has a freeze gun. Well, what's to stop him from going so fast that he can just take the freeze gun away?
Which he kind of does several... I mean, at one point, I think it was the last episode I watched, he just grabbed him off the bike and ran him into prison. Why couldn't you just have done that from the beginning?
I know, right?
So that's pretty much why I can't watch Flash, aside from the really... really dumb romance plot.
Oh yeah, it's really bad. It doesn't even try to be good. It's
that show would probably be better if Iris West just did not exist.
Yeah.
In that show.
If she didn't exist and the show's runtime was reduced to about 3 minutes, where Flash just basically saved the day in an instant and everybody was happy.
I'd watch that.
What's the other Supergirl. That one's coming out shortly.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, I saw the first episode of it.
Yeah,
I apparently give any DC shows a shot at least.
I'll give it a chance.
I don't expect much from that one. That's all that is. Agents
of S.H.I.E.L.D. also started up again.
Oh yeah.
I need to actually watch that at some point.
Yeah, it was alright.
It's actually, it did a time skip, which I'm really proud of it for doing, because now the one of the team members who has powers has now actually gotten used to her powers to the point where it's usable in combat, which now you're having a S.H.I.E.L.D. organization that has people with powers that work for them.
Well, person with powers.
person, but they actually no, they got the they're working on it. Yeah, but they have at least one. Yeah.
Is J. August Richards a regular character yet?
Who?
He was the bad guy in the first episode. Well, the guy in the first episode that had powers. Then I think they turned him into a villain.
Guy.
Yeah.
He's Deathlock, but he's like he technically works for them still. He
turns up occasionally, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I like that. I like that actor.
He's a recurring cast member. He hasn't shown up in the new season yet, but he was pretty instrumental throughout the show.
Yeah. He was one of the more fun characters on Angel, so you know I like that actor, so I like to see him in stuff.
Yeah. Deathlock is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have Legends of Tomorrow that's coming out soon, I think.
Yeah, that. I'm very skeptical about that one.
Show about Captain Atom? Yeah, not so much into that. Well, Captain Atom
I want
and
Daredevil
White
season
Canary.
2, please. Can I have Daredevil season 2?
Next year.
Oh, I'm so close. Oh,
Jessica
wait,
Jones.
they're doing the
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, yeah.
Is that next month or December? I forget.
We
talked about this last week.
Yeah, we did.
I'm
not last week. It was the week before last, probably.
I'm not too hopeful for Jessica Jones. Like, I understand Daredevil was really good, but like I don't feel like Jessica Jones is a big enough character. I don't know.
I disagree with that one. I think she's one of the more interesting ones.
I don't know much about her as the thing. So
well, honestly, I'm giving them credit for that. So they could have gone for a much more well-known character, but instead they've chosen one which a bit more obscure and is actually really interesting.
I hope they do something good with it, but I'm not too certain on how well.
Man, they should have done Luke Cage and his Heroes for Hire shit.
They're doing that.
They're doing Luke
Oh,
Cage.
that's awesome! Yeah. So many
Jessica Jones
jokes.
marries Luke Cage.
Yeah, I looked that up.
Looking forward to all the blaxploitation racist jokes.
So they're going to be having Luke Cage, and I hear they're going to be doing Iron Fist as well.
What order does it go? Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, is it? Or
I think Luke Cage comes third.
Yeah, right. And then it's the Defenders.
The Defenders.
It's a good time to be a superhero fan.
It is.
I mean, there's some shit, but there's some great stuff as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of shit, I really hope Arrow turns it around this season.
I don't think it's going to. I think that's crashed and burned. If
they kill Felicity, there is a good chance.
It's never going to happen, though.
I really hope it does, though.
I know. Me too. It's when they started talking about going to the dark side and things like that. It was just, no.
I remember when she was a fun character, and then she ended up being the character that screams at Arrow for no adequate reason every single episode.
They do repeat
and
themselves,
cries.
don't they?
I think literally every conversation in the back half of the season was her screaming and crying at him. Every conversation they had, it was ridiculous. Anyway. Yeah, so that was me. So, hey Ken, what have you been doing this week?
Alright, so, told you last week that I have been working an exorbitant amount of hours on a shift that I knew nothing about. And it went pretty okay, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm trying to block that out of my mind. But, one of the things that happened Sunday before I was supposed to work the first day of that schedule. I was supposed to go in Sunday night, and that afternoon I was training at the wrestling place, and stuff happened.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
So we were doing this thing where the finish of the match was dude somehow gets his hands on a title belt, hits me with it, and beats me. That's how the finish is supposed to go. That's how the match is supposed to end. He had never held a real belt before, because those things are like 15 to 20 pounds in metal. and he freaked out about hitting me with it. So instead of aiming high at my forehead like he was supposed to, he's like, okay, I'm going to hit him in the chest, so that way I won't risk knocking him out. Well, when he aimed for my chest, it went up and hit me in the mouth.
Oh.
And
Okay.
busted my shit open. And when it hit, I was like, that was lower than it was. The first thing I thought when I was like taking the bump and falling down was like, that hit lower than it was supposed to. And I taste blood, and God, I hope my teeth aren't broken. They're not broken, fortunately.
Yay!
That's good news.
Yeah, but now I have like, how wide would I say this? I can't get out a measuring stick to measure this gash. It's like, I would say 2-inch gash in my bottom lip, 2 inches wide, 1 inch deep. Or not 1 inch deep, 1 inch long. 2 inches long, 1 inch wide. And it's kind of deep, and I didn't go to get stitches because I had to work that night. So I made an executive decision to either get stitches or go to sleep so I can get up and do this shift later. I chose to go to sleep. So I went home and wrapped my pillow in a towel so I didn't bleed on my pillow. And slept for a few hours. And then went to work. And I was like, I'm at work. People are going to come in and talk to me. They're going to see me bleeding. I know how I'll fix that. I'll take a rag to work with me and clench it between my teeth so that no one will see me bleeding.
How could that go wrong?
You have some interesting logical process there, Ken.
Yeah. It's healing, but, it sucks because I need it to be dry for it to heal better. And your mouth isn't really supposed to be dry. So it's annoying. Like every time stuff starts to reform, it'll get wet for whatever reason, and it won't heal right, and it'll come off. And it's really annoying. I probably could still get stitches if I really wanted to, but I don't know if I want to, or should, or whatever. I don't know. So that's just one thing that happened to me this week. The other thing is, this whole Fandom Flux Fight Night thing is coming together. I finally got the part that'll help me record stuff on the PlayStation 4. I got a big-ass portable drive to store all the footage on. And the disc that came with the piece that's supposed to help me record, turns out I need to install it on my computer. And I don't have a disk drive on my laptop. So I had to go to Best Buy before we got on and get a fucking CD drive.
Okay.
So yeah, it's sitting over there in the corner. We're going to get all this shit together after the recording and see how it works and everything. And then I'll talk to Zero about when his time will be coming, because his time is coming. He's going to be very, very embarrassed and destroyed.
I'm not working Friday.
We'll see. I'll see how all this sets up, and I'll talk to you about it.
All right. Oh boy, I'm so gonna get my butt kicked.
Don't be so negative.
So I guess we're just gonna end up.
No, be negative. I'm pretty sure it's appropriate.
I guess we're just gonna record the call and record the gameplay at the same time.
We don't have to record the call. We can just it can record the party conversation on PlayStation Network, so we can just talk on that.
Okay, I need an actual mic then.
Didn't you get the little shitty one that comes with the controller?
That's all I got.
That's not going to be good. That's not going to be good audio quality.
Well, fine. I can just use the one I'm using right now then. So yeah, that's coming together. And let's see, what else? Anything else cool happen? Oh yeah, I'm getting Rock Band because I need to.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I really need to get this game again. And the best part is, all my songs will transfer over.
All of them?
Yeah. Apparently everything I've ever bought on PlayStation 3 will transfer over to PlayStation 4. So that'll be sweet.
Well, unfortunate for me. Because if I was going to get a next-gen console, it would be a PS4.
Oh.
I had a 360 last gen. So...
Oh,
dang.
Kenji.
What?
I can set up my current mic on the PS4.
Okay, cool.
Desktop mic. Okay. Awesome. We're good.
So yeah, stuff's going to be going down. It's going to be sweet. So look forward to more content and Zero getting beaten mercilessly at various games on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, so you could say for Ken, it's green grass and high tides forever.
I can't finish that song on Expert.
Neither can I. No, that song was the bane of my existence. God damn.
Hard is too easy, and Expert is too hard for that song.
Yeah. Well, I think that song was a pain in the ass for everyone because you had to go like right up to the limit of how many times you could strum within a second. Like that solo literally hits that limit. And it's basically physically impossible for someone to do without going over and thus breaking the combo.
Yeah. I'm excited because I have like 400 songs. So.
Yeah, so do I. But I'd have to get an Xbox One. I don't want to get an Xbox One.
Yeah.
I don't care whether Laura Bailey is a Spartan in Halo 5.
What? You don't?
No, I totally do, but come on, I don't want to get an Xbox One. Oh. All the good games are on fucking PS4 this gen. It's not fair.
Blame Microsoft for not getting their game together.
Yeah.
Not stepping shit up.
It took them a
Blame
while.
Sony for not getting their game together last gen.
I didn't blame them for anything last gen.
I did. They sucked last gen. They actually gimped their own machine.
Whatever. Everybody's got an opinion.
They made it purposefully more difficult to develop on so that it would take longer for them to pull out all the power for the thing.
So yeah.
That's not hearsay. That is genuinely what happened.
I don't know what. I don't want to hear it. All right.
I'm so excited. I can use my nice fancy mic for my PS4. I never knew.
So everyone can hear you crying in crisp, clear audio.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crisp, clear, disgusting audio.
Okay.
All right, that's all I got.
Anything else, Ken?
That's all.
That everything?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Guy, what have you been doing this week?
Yeah, the usual, I guess. I've been writing a new story which I'll be publishing this weekend. So.
Cool.
Yeah, looking for houses. Oh, and I blew up a mortar quite dramatically. I mean, seriously, sparks, smoke everywhere, nearly burnt down the building, but other than that...
Wait, what?
Wait,
what?
Well, it turns out when mortar windings jam, it kind of implodes on itself, lost about a couple of kilowatts going everywhere. It was really quite bad.
Ah.
But it's fine. It turns out the fire extinguishers work.
Oh, well, that's good. Good then. So, kind of puts your week into perspective, doesn't it, Ken?
What?
You didn't nearly blow up a building. Consider that a win.
I didn't, but here's the thing. Oh, forgot. Let me tell you, this week super sucked for two reasons I didn't get to talk about, or didn't talk about because I don't want to remember them. But my weekend shows are normally 1 hour. And 1 hour is hard enough to fill. But this weekend, because we were supposed to get quote-unquote historic flooding, they were moved up to 2 hours. And when the day finally came, didn't shit happen like I knew it wouldn't. And I still had to fill 2 hours. So I was like telling reporters, just go here and talk about how the rivers have been high all week because it had been raining a lot, but it really wasn't on Saturday, which was when the shift was. So I just basically had to...
buddy.
Yeah, didn't shit happen. So I had one person go to the fucking nearest river and talk about how the river was high from all the rain that had been happening. and the second person had to go to, like, the nearest big college we had and talk about how people were still tailgating in the nasty weather. And that was what I had to do on Saturday to fill 2 hours and help. Gotta do what you gotta do. I was so pissed off.
Wow, that sounds interesting.
See,
it really
this
wasn't.
gives you some real insight into news.
Just fuck it. Come up with something, okay? This is your job as much as it is mine. God damn it. Okay, so is that everything, Ken?
Yeah. Sorry for cutting you off.
Okay, and Guy, anything else aside from nearly blowing up a building?
No, blowing up the building was pretty much the highlight.
Fair play.
Yeah.
I imagine it would be, yeah.
You set that off in the first place with just been doing the usual. Do you usually normally build up or nearly blow up buildings? Is this something that happens regularly?
Well, okay, it was a bit bigger explosion than normal, but, you get used to them.
That's awesome.
Well, all of the old mortars that we come in, well, we've got nothing to do with them. They still work, but nobody wants them. So generally we take it out into the field with a big power supply and, see how much we can blow up.
Oh my god, really?
Well, yeah. What else would you do with it?
Okay, Ken, I didn't think someone would be able to beat your, TV producer job, but his job might actually be cooler than yours.
Oh, God. That's so awesome! Your job involves explosions
well,
regularly.
It's not. That's not part of my job. It's more like a after-hours thing. It's a hobby,
Yeah, well, it's a good hobby. Okay. Anything else, Guy? Before
No, that's it.
Okay. Zero, and I guess Guy, if he wants to join in. Tell us about Undertale while Ken and I sort of zone out for a little bit.
I honestly didn't plan on talking about Undertale, because it's good, but that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've already talked about it.
What's happening in your world this week, then?
So, new anime has come out.
Of course,
okay.
Including
I'll prepare my typing fingers.
The Attack on Titan one, where it's a school comedy of Attack on Titan set in junior high, and you have the two junior high schools, the one with the humans and the one with the Titans.
What?
And it parodies a lot of the scenes from the original show. For example, when the Titans break down the wall to enter, instead of eating people, they just steal all the kids' lunches. So it's kind of funny. Mikasa is super exaggerated, and I love it because it's exactly how she should be.
Well, she kind of is anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd recommend if you want to laugh after having felt sad about Attack on Titan and everybody dying and whatnot. It's good. Stressful.
I'm not sure people really felt that sad about Attack on Titan after, say, the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, everyone's dying? Yeah, okay.
Also, One Punch Man has finally been released. It's so good. The animation is so good.
I need a link to this so I can watch it later.
If it's anything like episode 1. Okay, the animation on this is some of the best animation I've seen in a show in a while.
I'm gonna link it as One Punch Manime.
Yeah, if it's anything like the second manga, I'm into that. Like art in that.
The art in that. It's so good.
You can practically see him doing the sort of, the chef kind of thing.
It's great. I love it. Let's see. I haven't watched a lot of the new stuff that's come out. Because there's been a lot of crap that's come up. Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry is something I've always kind of liked because it actually sets up, like, I think in the second episode, it was like chapter 4 of the manga, but it actually sets up the main heroine and the main character in an actual relationship instead of doing harem BS, which I appreciate. I found this weird thing called Koabon. It's a horror movie that's animated by something called rotoscoping, where they trace live-action footage frame by frame to recreate it as an animation.
Oh yeah, that's an old technique. That's from like the 80s at least.
Yeah, so that looks actually kind of interesting, and it also scared me, so I was like, no, I don't want to watch this. But if you like scary things, then go ahead. Yeah, and a bunch of other things like Comet Lucifer and Heavy Object have come out, but I want to watch Heavy Object because that actually seems really cool, and I don't know what to think about that Comet Lucifer thing. Seraph of the End has season 2 coming out, so if you liked that, good job. You can go watch more. Oh, and episode 12 of Kekkai Sensen has finally come out, and I recommended this anime before, but episode 12 never came out because it was a bigger time slot than normal. It was like 40 minutes long. So they had to wait basically all the way until this anime season, like one anime season later, to actually show the final episode, which sucks. As for what I've been doing so far this week, let's see. I poisoned my entire Skype group with Undertale, and have made most of them converts for the cause, which is nice. Because I can watch them struggle and laugh and cry when they want to kill everything, or if they want to, befriend everything. Aside from that, I had like a midterm that I had to do for business law, but I don't usually study for things, but I studied for like 5 hours in a row, which is very impressive for me, because I normally can't concentrate on something for more than 20 minutes. And
neither can most people.
So I studied for like 5 hours, and then I'm pretty sure I aced it, because it was so easy after I did that. Because I normally don't study. So.
I've never studied anything ever.
I know you don't.
Yeah, me either. But then again, I failed most of my qualifications, so...
Never got lower than a C. Woo!
Yeah, but I'm aiming for A's this time, so... in order to make my family happy, because they want to see A's really badly. And... yeah, I wrote an essay. I had tried to stay up until like 4 a.m. trying to write this essay, but I couldn't concentrate on it long enough to write it. So I ended up going to sleep at 4:30, waking up at 7 a.m., and then writing the essay in 2 hours and being like, okay, this is actually A-grade material. So yeah, yesterday I went on 2.5 hours of sleep, which was fun, actually.
Yeah, aside from the whole A-grade material bit, you're basically just describing my uni life, so...
I mean, I might get a B on it.
Oh no. The travesty.
No, like my last essay for that class, I wrote in about 2 hours and I got an A on it. I got 100% on it, actually. It's not too hard. The only problem is there's 800. Okay. There's a word limit of 800 words, and both essays actually ended up being 799 words. I felt so sad because I could make this better if I could only add like 200 more words.
Sounds like a Kenshi problem.
So
sounds like a Kenshi
this
problem.
just in, Zero's a SWAT, and he is basically just bragging for the past like 5 minutes. So if you want to retroactively block all that out of your memory, then feel free, and you can still respect Zero as a person. Always looking out for you, Zero. Don't worry about it.
Hear you.
Oh, poor Zero.
But anyways, I had to work a 7-hour shift last night with 2.5 hours of sleep. That's what I'm trying to say. Which went surprisingly well. I mean, at least I think it did. I mean, we didn't run out of chicken or anything at KFC, so... still, I finally got sleep last night, so I'm in a pretty good mood. Let's see. Anything else that happened? Not that I can remember that's significant, so, yeah.
Okay. So, okay, so, I don't think I missed any links. Nope. So, first topic is... That's not the topic list. It could be a topic. I think we could talk about Luchador Batman for a little while, but... right, first topic is Jesus symbolism.
Yeah, this gets used a lot. In every hero story, basically. I mean, Persona 3 even has you get the final persona called Messiah. Really on the nose.
A little on the nose, yeah.
But what's your guys' opinion of this? Like, do you hate it? Is it meaningful in any way?
Apparently, TV Tropes have 4 different pages about it, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, I am a Christian, and yeah, you think I'd like this, but I really don't like when they just go, oh yeah, Jesus symbolism. Yeah. It's not unique. It's been done,
The thing that gets me is that a lot of the characters that use it, why does it even apply? I mean, things like RoboCop and Terminator, they were all pretty heavy in Jesus symbolism, but, how does that work?
Yeah.
And then there's Superman, that's pretty much his whole character.
Yeah, basically. He's the savior of everyone. From another world.
What was the speech? Beginning of Superman. In order to save them, I have sent them you, my only son. Something along those lines.
Yeah. Subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, freaking even Chrono in Chrono Trigger, he dies and comes back to life. And he's super I guess you can really interpret this to kind of fit most main characters of things.
Yeah, the dying and coming back to life thing, I don't think that's as rare in myth or religion as one might imply by saying that if you do that, then you're ripping off Jesus.
Yeah, but you combine that with Chrono's casting pose when he casts a spell to be eerily reminiscent of the crucifixion.
I always interpreted that as him waving his arms in the air like he just doesn't care.
Yeah, this is what the TV show's page says, and I'm like, I can kind of see it.
Maybe if you squint a bit, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, Mass Effect. Y'all guys want to talk about Mass Effect?
Okay. I hate that I have to bring up fucking Seamus Young again, but he's doing a retrospective on the Mass Effect series, and it is incredible how little Shepard was like a Jesus figure in the first game.
Yeah, I know, right?
He had nothing to do. It was not Shepard's a hero, a bloody icon. That was literally the first time anything of that nature was brought up at the beginning of Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, I actually quite missed that, because at the beginning he was just a guy doing a job.
He was a guy doing a job, and he just happened to have the right information and the right ability to be able to do that job. Mm-hmm. That's all.
And then at the end of Mass Effect 3, you have them calling him the Shepherd.
Yeah. No. I really recommend looking at that fucking series, I swear to God. I'm even going to link it. You should read it, because it's fascinating how well they set up the sequel to the story. They could have just said, okay, we're going to search for old Prothean technology and stuff so we can find a way to beat the Reapers. And they did all this stuff, and Shepard is still the one that is best suited to that task because he still has the Prothean stuff in his head. He can still understand the Prothean language. He is still the best suited to that task. They just ignored all of that
Because
for
Cerberus,
this. Yeah.
also brought him back from the dead.
They literally wasted a perfectly good plot.
Yes, they did.
It was all set up for them, and they just, no, we're going to have a fucking... he is the Messiah that is going to save the fucking universe because he is the chosen one. There was none of that until that very moment when they decided it, so... Anyway, a little bit off topic. Not really. It kind of fits. Anyway, yeah, so Mass Effect is one. Yeah. Very sad making.
I suppose from the other side, you can apply the trope to a lot of things, which, yeah, it probably don't really count. I don't think the author intended a lot of the ones that it gets applied to. It's just...
I mean, it's easy to use.
Yeah, it is.
Mm. Yeah, I guess it is a story that pretty much resonates with everyone.
Because, like, it's really well known.
Aside from it being well known, it's a story that resonates with everyone. Someone dying to save all of us is...
It's a powerful message.
It's a powerful message, and that's probably why Christianity has spread to the four corners of the fucking earth. Because it's a story that people can get behind. So...
Is Naruto a Jesus trope? He's the chosen one, he has devoted followers, he was personally...
He's Ninja Buddha Jesus.
Yeah.
We've discussed this extensively.
I didn't want... That's why I went out of my way to not say anything, because I don't want to talk more.
Okay, so what do you guys think about Goku fitting this?
He doesn't.
Because that's what the TV show's page says, and I'm like, no.
I mean,
No.
Not really.
He doesn't.
No.
He has way too much self-interest to be a Jesus analog.
Yeah. Half the shit that happens is because of decisions he made for himself. Like, I want to fight this guy.
I want to fight this guy, and I want to fight this guy when he's, like, super strong, because, you know, a fair fight is important to prove that I'm better than him.
Yeah.
It's basically his reasoning for fighting Frieza at full power.
His reason for not killing Boo when he could have killed Boo is because I wanted everyone else to do it this time.
Mm.
Let's see.
One could infer a God helps those who help themselves message in that, but that's kind of reaching.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is a powerful message. There are a lot of
powerful message, powerful story. A lot of people will click with it when they read it. Just not when every story is the same story.
Yeah. You can do a cool little subversion of this if you want. You can even you can even do it straight up if you really want to. And for the most part, if you're able to fit it into the story well enough to the point where it makes sense, it's okay. But
Go ahead, guy.
I'd just like to say a quote on another TV tropes. I remember another gentle visitor from the heavens. He came in peace and then he died, only to come back to life, and his name was E.T., the extraterrestrial. I love that little guy. The Simpsons. Remember that one, actually.
Oh God, please don't tell me E.T. was supposed to be a Jesus analog.
Yeah, right down to the resurrection and the Michelangelo touch between the fingers.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so God really is everywhere. Just not quite in the way that most people probably mean that. Yeah, so officially sick of Jesus being every story, everywhere.
I'd say you could do cool subversions of this. Like, say, for example, people might think this person is, but this person really isn't. Or something interesting like that, just to make it a bit more unique. Because it's boring. It's been overdone.
Oh my god, BioWare did this twice, didn't they?
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Well, I suppose that...
I like that you can subvert that one by...
Yeah, you can.
chicaneering your way out of having to die at the end of the game, but still, it's there.
If that's the story you want to tell, you can choose it.
Or you could have someone else be that character.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of interesting, being someone who watches someone become a Jesus analog.
Mm-hmm.
From a video game perspective, that's interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame Dragon Age for that one. I think, yeah, they probably get a pass. Because it's your choice, sort of.
Yeah, because you have choice.
And I have yet to finish Dragon Age Inquisition, so I don't know whether that actually applies in that one. I don't think it does. I think you just beat the big bad guy, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's basically it. You're just like, okay, I win now. That had a really, sucky ending, Inquisition. I haven't played the DLC for it. But
so I understand. And you still can't romance Dagna, which is really disappointing.
But yeah, it was like it felt so rushed. I think Inquisition was it felt like they really rushed out the final area and final boss. You're like, oh yeah, now they're here.
Yeah. Oh shit, we need to end this thing somehow.
Yeah. There wasn't enough build up, and you were just kind of like, wait, what? How did we get here? What's happening? But other than that, the rest of the game's pretty good.
I need to finish that at some point.
I need to play the DLC for that at some point when I have money.
What was the DLC about, anyway?
It's just like a crap ton or something. They're releasing the final DLC now.
A crap ton. Okay, thanks for the
I have not looked into it, because I don't want to spoil myself or anything.
Fair play. Oh, I might actually have to look into that at some point. Unfortunately, I have other things that I'm going to... Oh, shit. I completely forgot to mention one, but then again, it's on our banned list of topics, so I can't talk about it anymore. Yeah, but based on the fact that I said that, I can pretty much bet that all of you have figured out what I'm talking about.
There's DLC to go into the Deep Roads.
Oh, well, that's a thing we've done several times
and then
now.
There's
the
Trespasser DLC, there's Jaws of Akan, where you get to discover the fate of the last Inquisitor, with a whole new area, and an ancient Tevinter fortress. That sounds interesting.
Have they done anything at all with the Warden yet?
Are they ever going to? Because there's too many options there. It's going to be too hard.
I've heard that they have, but I haven't looked into it. So.
Okay. I'll have to finish that game.
I thought, didn't they just get you got a letter from him?
You got a letter, but I don't know if they did anything in the DLC.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean, I don't even care about the Warden at this point, because I don't think it let me carry over my Warden from Origins for some reason.
I rebuilt the entire thing using the timeline.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Had.
I rebuilt it as well. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I replayed Origins just so I could import a character.
Yeah. Curiously enough, I think my Dragon Age universe, for some reason, all of the heroes have white hair. It's very strange how that coincidence has occurred over and over again. But, I guess they have an indicator for who's going to be the next heroic savior that's going to save the world.
He's got white hair. Quick. Recruit him.
Give him a sword.
That would actually be a pretty great story.
Characters born with white
some
hair.
kids born with white hair, so that they just immediately start training him in warfare.
They know they're going to be a hero, but they really don't want to, so everybody's always chasing after him.
Yeah, that could be cool. Anyway. Yeah, so I need to finish the game. Anyway, Jesus symbolism was the topic, and I think we've discussed it fairly thoroughly. So, next topic is sequelitis, which Ken tells me is when, as a series goes on, the entries will consistently get worse and worse.
Yeah, it's pretty much the more movies you'll find in any particular franchise, they will suck over time.
Mm-hmm.
I've yet to see this disproven, really.
Yeah.
James Bond.
I don't count that.
It's hard to count it as a series when they constantly iterate on the character and the setting around them, because they have to constantly update it for modern technology and things like that.
Yeah, true, but...
Plus, it's also an adaptation because it's all based on books, obviously.
Harry Potter movies.
No. The first two were kind of they were kids' films, in fairness, but the third one was good. The fourth one was good. 5, 6, and 7 I wasn't much for. And 8, I suppose, technically.
But does it count if it's kind of like gets better then gets worse again? Or...
It's a good question. Ken?
No, they have to progressively get worse and just keep going to beat that dead horse.
Okay, so here is my counterpoint, because I mentioned when we brought up this topic that I think I have one that kind of disproves this, but I haven't actually seen enough of the films to say for certain. So I saw the first 2 films, and then I didn't watch any after that, but I'm told they're still good films. Except the third one. Fast and the Furious.
I watched the first 2 and the last 2. I haven't seen the ones in the middle. So, yeah, maybe that does... It only really got good once it became just a straight-up action movie rather than a car movie.
Now, I think the third one is Tokyo Drift. Tokyo Drift was a complete waste of time. I can say that.
Hey, dude, if you ain't out of control, you ain't in control.
Shut up.
Not today. So we just do Fast and Furious quotes for the next half hour?
Please no.
Okay. I don't actually know any other. I don't know any other Fast and Furious quotes. So
how many movies do they freaking have?
Casey's still a buster.
Pronounced it wrong.
I'm not gonna say buster. All right, I'm not gonna.
You're still not saying it, so I guess you're not. No.
But yeah, the Fast and the Furious, that is one that the movies got better over time.
So I guess I did disprove you.
Not. It's an exception that proves the rule kind of thing.
That's not what that phrase means.
Most things that have 8 or 9 fucking movies suck. Okay. Is this?
Yeah. Star Wars definitely got... Well, the first one was good. The second one was great. And then they just went downhill from there. No, actually, that sort of had a dip and then sort of came back up a little bit. But, yeah, generally speaking, there's correlation that they got worse, basically.
Well, I'm actually weirdly optimistic about the new one, though. I think this one might be good.
Cross-guard lightsaber still pisses me off.
Oh, why? If you apply that...
That makes no sense.
It really doesn't. It's a beam of light. It goes in a straight line. It doesn't cross over itself.
Not even that. Even if it entirely made sense physics-wise, even outside of the setting, and you could actually make something like that, why would you? It just makes it even more difficult to wield for something that will already cut something off without you even realizing.
Actually, that kind of makes quite a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because have you ever been fencing where it slides down the sword? Pretty much that's a surefire way to lose a hand without a good cross guard. It's what every sword in real life has. And if lightsabers are the only thing that can stop...
every sword.
Well, pretty much every sword. The vast majority of swords. And if lightsabers are the only thing that can stop other lightsabers, you kind of need a lightsaber crossguard. That's pretty logical.
Then why not make one out of cortosis?
Because that doesn't exist in the movie universes.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was just a extended universe thing.
No, that's a real thing from the films, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to look it up to double check because Star Wars fans will jump down my throat if I'm wrong. but I'm pretty sure that's a thing from the films. Keep going. And I'll just look this up while you vamp for me.
All right. Want evidence? True evidence? Scary movie. Come on. Anyone?
Oh, Scary Movie, yeah.
Is that still going? Or did that just...
1 and 2 were pretty good. Then they weren't.
And then all the spin-offs happened.
Oh god, the spin-offs.
Oh.
Date movie. Disaster movie. Epic movie. Superhero movie.
Oh, please stop. A lot of those weren't good.
A lot of them.
As in all of them.
Let's see. What else we got in my mind?
Terminator. That follows it pretty well.
What are my opinions on Terminator? I don't know. I never really gave a shit about it. I just watched it because it was a movie to watch. I never really got up in arms about it.
The first one was good. The second one was pretty iconic. The third one, no, going downhill quickly.
Third one I remember mostly because there was the naked supermodel at the beginning. That was pretty much it.
Oh yeah, I remember third one is bad because the entire point of the movie is you can't change anything. So...
yeah. So that whole time travel stuff it literally made all 3 films entirely pointless.
Have you seen the most recent one? That was absolutely awful.
Genesis.
Yeah.
That one? No, I haven't seen that one.
Good. Don't watch it. It ruins all the bad good memories. It really is that bad.
Okay, I'm just looking through the list of appearances for it, and it looks like... yeah, fair play. Guy is absolutely right. Cortosis is expanded universe. Supposedly it was used in the Clone Wars, which I think means the animated series, but I don't know whether that still counts as canon or not. Because Disney are basically picking and choosing, which is a bad way to do that for, fans are going to rake you over the coals over it every single time.
Well, they had to cut out the extended universe. You couldn't build another movie on that. There was just too much of it.
I disagree. You could quite easily adapt some of the books. Of what's... Jaden, I think is the name of Luke's son. Jaden and Jaina, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, there were good moments in the extended universe. I liked it. It was just too many. It was pretty much for the next 100 years after it.
Yeah. But like I say, you could adapt that quite easily and make them actual films.
But, yeah, I suppose it depends on if you wanted to adapt it.
Yeah, I guess they didn't. J.J. Abrams was like, hey, I want to make my own fucking films. Thank you very much. I don't want to adapt someone else's work. I am a creative mind. Just look at my Star Trek films that are so well written. Anyway, so what were we talking about?
Sequelitis.
Sequelitis, thank you. Yes, yeah.
Alright, here's one that's not movie-based that really is near and dear to my heart. Tony Hawk Pro Skater series of video games.
Okay, 1 was okay. 2 was great.
Yep.
3 basically just improved on it. 4 was great. I love the open world stuff.
Underground was awesome.
Underground was good. I think the plot stuff was kind of dumb, though I did like Bam Margera sort of creaming himself over the tanks in Russia. That was kind of hilarious.
Eric Sparrow's the greatest douchebag on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking edited himself into your jump from the hotels in Hawaii. Fuck you, Sparrow. Are you kidding me? I mean, you know how long it took me to do that shit? That hurt me legitimately. That legitimately pissed me off.
And then Thug 2 happened, and that was dumb.
And slowly started to die.
American Wasteland was boring. Project 8 was good.
I didn't like
Project 8 was a legitimately good game. I think Ken was about to say he disagrees.
Yeah, I don't really like Project 8.
What was wrong with it?
I don't know. It never really sucked me in, and the entire situational skateboard flip thing kind of pissed me off.
Okay. And then Proving Ground, which I never played. Which I'm given to understand that was better. Not exactly a return to form, but better. And then Ride happened. And then the fan base cried for a few weeks. And then Shred happened, and the fan base basically died inside. And everyone's sad. And then 5 happened, and everyone just pissed themselves laughing at what a shell of its former self this series had become.
But it did bring some good times. Those soundtracks were fucking great back in the day.
Yeah, I found some of my favorite bands from those fucking soundtracks. Alien Ant Farm, Papa Roach, Goldfinger, I think was yeah. Trying to think of some others. Gone off the top of my head, but you know, like I say, very good soundtracks. Mill and Cullen.
Yeah.
No Cigar. That was a good song. I have like 3 of their albums pretty much because of Tony Hawk 2. That sold me on the entire fucking back catalogue of theirs. It's great. Oh, nostalgia.
Let's see. What else?
If we're going to do video games...
I've been looking for...
Go on.
The only actual inversion for that one I can find is of Madagascar. Apparently that one just keeps on getting better.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch kids films.
No, me neither. I'm just looking on TV tropes for any one that goes in the reverse.
Does the same apply to TV shows, do you think? The longer it lasts, the worse it gets? That's what people generally believe, I think.
Kinda, yeah.
Sometimes, but I think with TV shows it's more likely to peak and then go down.
I feel like TV shows can start out bad but still end up being good in the end.
Yeah. I mean, the first season, a lot of the shows are just finding their feet. So the first season will be mediocre, and then it will really get good.
That's pretty much what happened with Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah,
and that's also what happened with
Chuck was the same.
It's also what happened with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, that's a good example, yeah.
Yeah, so TV shows aren't really affected by this as much. There is definitely a decline after a certain point, though. And then it does just get genuinely worse as time goes on.
Ooh, another game that suffered a decline as sequels came out. Crash Bandicoot. I loved you, Crash.
1 was okay. 2 was great. 3 was amazing.
That time
downhill from here.
Yeah, that time trial thing really made it a lot better.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys remember Crash Twinsanity.
I think you've talked about it before.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty good. But that was like after that, and the few games before that was just not great at all.
Yeah.
And then they ended up just doing Crash Racing, and then it disappeared.
Okay, here's why I think it doesn't work the same way for games. Games haven't advanced enough to the point where it's all down to the quality of the writing and the storytelling and such things. That they can just get worse like that. Because take the Elder Scrolls. It's basically an inversion of that entire scale. Because 1 was shit, 2 was also pretty shit, 3 was okay, but baffling and very hard to get your head around, 4 was great, and 5, a lot of people think it's the best one. I disagree, but a lot of people think it's the best one. So it's literally going the exact opposite order of they constantly get better, because the technology constantly gets better. So there are improvements to be made that you just don't get with films, because films are films and they've already established exactly how they work.
Well, I'd argue with that, because CGI is getting just as better, but nobody cares as much about it, really. It's not the same.
Yeah. Just looking to see whether there's any other games that really jump out at me. The series. Oh god. Sonic.
Oh, speaking of sequels, Egoraptor just uploaded the animation of the sequel to that one Zelda rap in the new Starbomb album. The one with the hero of Rhyme.
The hero of Rhyme.
Yep.
I said the hero of time.
Oh gosh, this is just uploaded like 2 hours ago. Watch it after.
Okay, that's a thing I need to link apparently.
Here, you can.
I can find it. Don't worry.
No, it's here. See, there you go.
Yeah, nothing else is jumping out at me. Oh, those are all the small games that I have. Yeah, Deus Ex as well. Doesn't fit the pattern. 1 was great, 2 was not, and 3 was great. Kind of a shorter series, but, we'll see how it bears out for 4, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. Unless you want to talk about the Batman games, the Rocksteady ones.
I don't know. We talk about that a lot. For those.
Do we?
Rocksteady. Hold on. Which one of those?
Arkham.
Yeah, we do reference those a lot when it comes to.
Okay. Saints Row.
Now, I don't see with Saints Row. I think at some point they just accepted we're not Grand Theft Auto, so let's just take what we do well and make it as ridiculous as possible.
Yeah, and it made for better games. Thus, the games got better as they went along.
They didn't try to compete.
Because they changed their commitment, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't try to compete on the level of we want to be like Grand Theft Auto. It's like, we're not as good as Grand Theft Auto being Grand Theft Auto, so let's just make this what Grand Theft Auto can't be.
Yeah, but like I say, in themselves, they just got better games.
I think the secret is, like, when it starts to continue like that, if it accepts what it is and does it naturally, it generally gets better. As it finds its flaws, it does it well, it streamlines. But if it tries to force something else, it gets a lot worse quite quickly. Because it's...
That and when you're just making more for the sake of making more.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you literally don't have an idea, but the studio says, we need another one.
But that's essentially just forcing it again, isn't it? It's... Yeah. I think it's all about what type of game or what type of thing is it, how it's made.
Okay, how are we doing for time? 19? We got time. Alright, so next topic is the non-standard game over. I'm going to have to pull up the joke for this one to remind me.
The non-standard game over is when you don't get a game over, like, by just losing. You get it through other methods.
So, like, for example, a villain could ask you to join him. And if you say yes, the game ends.
Yeah.
Because you have joined the villain, and thus there is no longer a conflict.
Yeah. Like, that's done in that's done in a lot of games where if you join the villain, it just ends the game. Like,
Most recently, in Far Cry 3. With Pagan Min. You just sit there and eat your goddamn crab rangoon while he tortures some dude for like 15 minutes. He'll be back, and he'll go off, and he'll take you to the fucking end of the game. And that's it.
Do you know, the one which I think about, it's on Guild Wars, the first one. If the player did something and got their account banned, what would happen is it would be like the god Gren coming out and dragging them down into the underworld, where they would just stand there. They couldn't do anything. The player itself had actually lost.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It is, isn't it?
If a bit trolly. But, you know, it's still great.
There's also, I like the game over where, do you want to go out and save the world? And you say no, and the game, it's like, are you sure? And you're like, no, and then the game ends because you didn't go out and do anything. That's happened in a few games that I've seen.
Okay. I'm just basically looking through the examples, and I did not know about this one. In Tomb Raider, and loyally copied into its remake Anniversary, if Laura makes the mistake of touching the magic hand of the Midas statue, she herself turns to solid gold, just painfully slowly enough for her to be able to realize what her mistake has cost her before she actually dies. Holy shit!
Okay, in Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia, there's a timed mission in which you have to close a massive valve to prevent the cargo ship from sinking with you, and all the Pokemon on there. And if you fail this is the first time in a Pokemon game where the player can actually die. So, yeah. You get a cutscene of the ship sinking to the bottom of the ocean if you fail.
In the Sega CD version of Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin, losing to the Kingpin, the final boss, results in a sad ending sequence in which the Kingpin triumphs over the defeated Spider-Man. He then lowers both Spider-Man and Mary Jane into the vat of deadly ooze, after which they are never seen again. Huh. I like it when companies will put the effort into this sort of thing.
Yes.
Let's see.
Now, I don't know if this counts, but in Metal Gear Solid 3, one of the bosses you have to quote-unquote fight, his name, the Sorrow. Basically, you're walking down the river Styx, trying to avoid the ghost of every single person you've killed throughout the game. Trying to get to the end of the river and touch the Sorrow, and when you do, you die. Only there's a way to get through it, and they don't explicitly tell you what it is. You have to remember something. At the start of the game, you only have like 2 items. One of them is like a back from the dead pill, like some kind of a pill that brings you back from the dead in certain situations. You have like a near-death pill. You have like a pill that will kill you, and the antidote to that pill in your tooth. Those are like 2 items you have at the start of the game, and you have to remember that the tooth pill will bring you back to life in situations like that where your heart stops or whatever. So if you don't remember to do that, you'll just game over and you have to do the whole thing over again until you fucking remember that you have that pill. It's really annoying when I figured it out.
Seducing Morinth in Mass Effect 2.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. You sure this is a good idea? No, but at least don't die happy.
I don't think it technically counts as seducing her when she pretty much just wants to.
Yeah.
Whatever, you gotta be there.
You have to look at her and say, come here, and then she's like, okay, you seduced me.
I mean, you gotta put in the effort of being there. That counts.
Yeah. But I like non-standard game overs because they're so fun, and a lot of the time you have to find them. And it's a little treat to put in.
I'm still looking through the list.
Yeah, me too.
The creator of Undertale, in another game that he made, the Earthbound Halloween hack, if you lose to the final boss, you'll end up with the continue screen as usual, except the narrator refuses to let you continue. Just kidding, you are dead forever. Ha ha ha.
Chrono Trigger has several, apparently. If you lose to Lavos, you get to watch him destroy the world. In the DS version, specifically, if you lose to the bonus boss, the Dream Devourer, Charla says she will erase all existence, and then you see that in the end the future refuses to change. And losing to Magus in 600 AD will treat you to a very short scene in which he turns around and continues summoning, and before the screen fades to black, Lavos' great scream is the last thing you hear. Yeah, so it had some non-standard game overs along with like the 15 endings that it had. Again, credit to companies that do this. This is really cool stuff.
Dragon Age Inquisition, if you get evicted from the Orlais Ball by reaching 0 court appeal, you're told that Orlais will be left leaderless and thrown into chaos, leaving both it and your Inquisition easy prey for the big bad.
Huh.
Never knew that one. I'm gonna try that sometime.
So, I like it when you have to, it's just such a nice surprise, like a subversion of the game over screen, or, you know, getting a unique cutscene because you failed in a certain way.
Oh, I can't believe we forgot this one. In Persona 4, if someone appears on the Midnight Channel, you have to rescue the person from the TV world before a certain date passes. If the deadline passes and you didn't save the person, said person will die when the fog is at its heaviest. Your hero collapses and you are then given the option to exit the title screen or flashback 7 days to try again. Yeah. And every single person, it gives you a specific scene of someone calling you up and saying, we didn't save them, there's police cars going around. Or, at the end of the game, you get to hear someone dying words and then screaming in agony as they get murdered.
Oh my god, this is a messed up one. Alright. I played this one. In Suikoden 4 is an RPG where, like, it's in a series, but none of them connected. In this particular one, you're like a student at a naval academy. And in one of the missions or things you go on early on after you graduate, your ship gets destroyed, and you and your few party members are marooned on a deserted island. And early on when you're doing that, everyone's gathered around, like, what are we going to do? What should we do right now? Them? No. It's like, you can choose to, like, we should look for food, or we should start figuring out a way to get off this island. Or you could be like, I like it here, let's stay here forever. And it will make you play through day by day on the island forever without letting you off. And there's no way off. The game ends right there. It just lets you keep doing it forever.
Wow.
It's a loop. It's so messed up. It took me like 2 hours to realize, wait a minute. The game's over.
Huh. I didn't know about this one. Mass Effect 2 again. in the DLC Arrival, where you're basically trying to stop the Reapers from showing up, there is a countdown timer, and if you let it hit 0, then Shepard will experience what is a rapid glimpse of Reapers coming down to the galaxy to cleanse all life.
Oh no, there's one in Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam.
What?
Yeah. If the final boss is "We can rule together, offers accepted," Charles Barkley is immediately hypnotized, and his very first course of action is to kill his son Hoops, who up to that point was the main reason he was adventuring in the first place. Besides that dialogue choice, it's also possible to die outside of combat during a QuickTime event, or while navigating the Sugar Cave.
Oh, I forgot
That sounds like a weird game.
But Mega Man Legends 2, if you fail to defend one island from these robots are attacking, the guy in charge will just blow up the island. He'll self-destruct it because he freaks out.
This is a good one. Infinite Space, which is a really good game that people should play. It's on the DS. You wind up in some sort of negative space where it's unhealthy to stay. You are presented with 3 options, and in 2 of the options you slowly drift around with the situation getting worse and worse. You think you'll get rescued or catch a lucky break, but instead your party poofs into nothingness. Which is very true, and it's really fucking creepy when it happens. Elder Scrolls 4. Martin Septimus flagged that he can't die, but during 2 points of the main quest, the Battle for Bruma and the final mission in the Imperial City, he loses his essential status, and if he dies, it shows a few lines of text and prompts you to reload, made worse by a glitch that prevents him from equipping proper armor during the following event, forcing you to glitch to keep him alive. Yeah. So apparently they did let an important NPC die in 2 missions in Oblivion, only it ended your game anyway. So, god damn it, Bethesda, what are you playing at? I'd be okay playing in a doomed world if it let me fucking... Whatever, moving on. Because it let you do that in Morrowind. You could, like, have someone important die and then you could just keep playing it. Say you failed the quest, but you could keep going. God damn it. Kingdom Hearts 2, but I don't know a goddamn thing about that. Mother 3, obviously, there's a bunch of those. Oh god, Radiant Historia. Oh god, I forgot about that game.
I need to play that game. It's on my list of things I need to
Okay, Radiant Historia is a game all about time travel.
Yeah, so basically you can fail every way and...
Yeah, it basically has 1,000 different non-standard game overs. And you basically have to get all of them for 100% completion. So you can see every single possible way that the world can end while you search for that one needle in a haystack of a timeline that lets the world keep going.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah. There's one really cool one where you and the main romantic interest basically decide, okay, we could save the world, but in doing so, the protagonist is going to die, and that kind of sucks for my love life. So they decide, okay, this time we're just going to go away together and live the rest of our lives happily. And then you'll go back in time, and you'll save the world and die, but at least we got that time together. It's very sweet.
No.
Yeah. So, that game is great for this sort of thing. Yeah. I think that's enough examples. We've gone through quite a few. There's some for the South Park, The Stick of Truth, but I don't care. So, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that you can do with these games, but it all depends on how much effort you put into them to how worthwhile they are. Because, obviously, if it's just, oh, you didn't do this thing, therefore the game ends because this reason, it's just a text scroll. That's kind of not interesting. What it can really do is reinforce why you're doing the things you're doing in the story in the first place. So, like, you fuck up in the game, and it shows you what happens because you fucked up. No one's got anything else to say about this.
I'm getting talked to death.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's everything. We're moving on to our last, as usual, our last topic, which is recommendations. So, who has a recommendation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you want to go ahead, Guy?
Oh, right. One Piece fan fiction called Three Brothers.
Sorry?
One Piece fan fiction is called Three Brothers.
Three Brothers.
Yeah. So essentially, it's what happens if Luffy, Sabo, Ace, they all ate Logia devil fruits at the very beginning, and then went on a crew together.
So they're all one crew?
Yes.
Who's the captain?
Kind of vice captains, I guess.
Of course it is. Okay.
But yeah, so pretty much at first it goes how you would expect. They're super powerful guys just go and curb something their way around the East Blue. But then, yeah, it kind of gets interesting. You get different crew members joining up, and then they meet this whole thing on this island with the secret society hunting devil fruits, and yeah, it kind of gets quite good. It's a new One Piece fan fiction. I quite like it at the minute. Yeah, so Ace had the flame fruit. Luffy had the dog fruit, and Sabo was the steam man. So Luffy kind of becomes this nice guy, but he's also really dark and will just kill you if you mess with him. And it's quite interesting. I quite like it.
Okay. That sounds like something I might look at. Because you see, the last thing that you recommended, I actually read. And yeah. Well, not the last thing you recommended, but the last One Piece fic that you recommended, which was Dreams of Faraway Shores, Breaking the Fate's Chains, Strong World.
Yeah.
Buddy, one of those sections of that title really should just go away, because for one thing, it's not really meaning anything, and for another, your title is too fucking long.
I know, I was thinking about it too. I mean, why? Too long.
Dreams of Faraway Shores, Strong World is a decent title. Breaking the Fate's Chains doesn't mean it. It literally doesn't mean anything. But this fic is actually quite good so far. Only 5 chapters, 51,000 words, but he's done some interesting things with them.
Yeah, I'm still a bit cautious about where it's going to go, but it is, fairly interesting at the minute. Yeah.
Worth noting that the guy is ESL, so there's some grammar and spelling stuff that's a bit squicky, but if you can push past that, then it does some interesting things. It's basically, Luffy is a little bit more superpowered than he is usually. He gets he gets the magma fruit, which, OP for literally the entire East Blue stuff, except for one bit, which, I'm hoping the author does some interesting things for how he can get put down or temporarily put down for a couple of these villains. And the author has gone on record as saying that the entire setting is going to be stronger and smarter. So, and that's borne out because Morgan does some smart things in his little arc. And the author is not afraid to kill characters. So, fair warning. A major character dies in the first chapter. He dies off screen. If you are going to bitch and moan about that, then you probably shouldn't read this fic. Just thought I'd say that. You shouldn't whine about someone telling a different story to the one you've already read. You've already read that story. If you want to read it again, go read it again. This is a different story. Thus, not everything's going to be the same. That means some people might die that that didn't die in canon. Some people might, not die that did die in canon.
Yeah, I should have put that exact statement as the author's note for my recent chapter.
Yeah, I can see why you two are sort of simpatico in this. Why you like this story in particular. Yeah, you have similar ideals when it comes to storytelling. But yeah, if a different character dies that you liked, well, sorry, I guess that worked. The author did its job in, getting you to feel something while reading the story. So, good job this guy. And good job the Serpent guy, I guess. As an aside. But yeah, it kind of feels a little bit like that really terrible One Piece story that is, I believe, still at the top of the favorites and follows list. The popularity list. Renewed Adventure, I think it's called.
Yeah, I'm still sore about that one.
It feels kind of like that, except he's not making the one single fatal mistake that guy did. He's changing things. So credit to him for changing things. It's some minor and some major as things are going on. The most recent chapter has changed quite a lot about the Buggy arc. So, that's cool. Yeah, Renewed Adventure was terrible.
Yeah, do you know the whole reason why I wrote my One Piece fic is because I hated Renewed Adventure that much? If really...
I must have reviewed that guy like 20 times telling him you need to change things or no one's going to care about your story. Apparently I was wrong, but like half of his reviews are people bitching at him for keeping the story exactly identical to canon.
I know. It's
90% of I wrote because I hated what I was reading. So I guess that's the motivation for a lot of people to try it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Again, Luffy he has the rubber fruit, he has the 6 styles, and he has Haki, and he still loses to Crocodile. Not only does he still lose to Crocodile, he still loses to Crocodile in the exact same way as in canon. And then his justification for that is that, well, if I changed it, then the story would be different.
Oh no! The story's different. Whatever will we do for writing a new story? We can.
God, what do you think I am, a fucking writer? Jesus Christ.
The bit that forced me to stop reading that Renewed Adventure, it was the what was the guy's name? The guy who could eat everything and
Waffle.
Yeah, Waffle. He said on one of his offers, I wanted to kill off Waffle, but then in the time skip he wouldn't create Waffle's steel, and then I and Frankie wouldn't be there.
What?
No, that's not how anything works. You're meant to do something original and give another reason. And instead he kept a character alive just because it would impact something in a very minor way 500 chapters later. That has got to me.
Yeah, at that point you're not even pretending to write your own story anymore. Like, if you're thinking that far ahead for how you don't want to change anything, why are you writing the story? I mean, a lot of writers will change things early on and then eventually realize, oh shit, I've changed so much, I have no idea where the story is supposed to go anymore. And then they might slowly peter out. But this guy has decided, okay, if I change anything, I'll have no idea what the fuck to do. So I won't change anything.
Yeah, we're probably picking on him a bit too much now, aren't we?
I don't think so. Again, I've reviewed him like 20 times telling him he needed to fix this, and he did fuck all and yelled at me over it every single goddamn time. I'm still pissed off about it.
But he's still got more reviews than both of us. It's...
And half of them are telling him how shit he is.
Yeah, what about the favourites then? And the followers?
Oh. Fucking stupid.
Man, I'm glad I never had that problem.
Yeah, you've got more reviews than anyone, don't you?
Probably. God damn it, I probably do.
So yeah, Dreams of Faraway Shores, Spaghetti and Meatballs, Strong World is a very good fic, and people should read it. I don't know whether I had another one. Nope, I don't have another one at the moment, so that's going to have to be my recommendation. It's basically a seconding of a recommendation that happened 2 weeks ago, so I suck. Anyone else got any recommendations?
I recommend you go out into the world and love the world.
You recommended something similar last week.
Well, you know what? You can always do it again.
Yeah, go out into the world and love it vigorously.
Vigorously.
That mailbox is a good...
Have some discretion. Or don't, if that's what you're into.
Oh, I had a stare down with a skunk on Tuesday, by the way.
How did this not get into your what you were doing thing?
Huh?
Go on, tell the story.
Okay, it's not really a story. It's just like I work overnight, so I have to leave my house at midnight at the latest all the time. And I was leaving the house, and in my backyard there's like a lamp post. And I leave out the side of my house, and from the side door to the lamp post in the backyard, it's like 20 feet. Underneath the lamp post was a skunk, and he heard me come out, and I saw him under the light, and we just froze and stared at each other for about 30 seconds. No one moved, and I just decided to just walk away. I walked away.
So you got intimidated by a skunk?
I would be intimidated by a skunk as well. I don't want to deal with that for the rest of the year.
Yeah, have you ever been within half a mile of a skunk?
That shit doesn't come out.
I think they live under my house. I don't know where it comes from. It has to, and there's like you know how some people have like their bushes in front of their house and stuff. Well, it's like behind the bushes, like underneath the mortar of my fucking house, the foundation of my fucking house. There's like holes dug in the dirt. So I'm pretty sure it's living down there, little motherfucker.
Okay, Ken.
Your house is supported structurally by skunks.
At this point, you have been infested by skunks and mortar bees. At this point, I'd be thinking of moving out, maybe getting a flat, something like that.
Yeah. But then something's gonna happen there too. I mean, fuck.
I just want to see like an image of Kenji's house just supported by skunks and mortar bees.
Oh God, that's still the most terrifying thing I've ever learned about, by the way. The bees that will burrow through goddamn concrete.
They're gone. That was a year ago. They're not here anymore.
That's what you think.
It still haunts my nightmares, okay? I didn't even experience it.
Yeah? Well, I lived in it, okay? And I had to fucking wait. Every time I went in the bathroom, more bees. No matter how many I killed, more bees. My dad set up a fucking trap where, like, he'd cut a hole in the ceiling and stuck, like, a big-ass bottle with, like, filled, like, a 1/5 of the way with water and like something sweet like a piece of apple or something in there, so that bees will like drop in there and drown and die. That shit filled up multiple times, and he would dump them in the toilet and never flush, so you would see like hundreds of bees in the toilet. The hundreds of dead bees. You hope they were dead.
Guys, is Ken trying to make me cry?
Yes.
I think Ken's trying to make me cry.
Keep on going.
I can't. That's literally it. And every so often, I still get paranoid and I feel like I hear a buzz or something, but it's nothing.
Is it really nothing?
It's really nothing.
Just wait until the bees learn to burrow into human skin.
That's... The bees actually do that in Metal Gear Solid 3. Like, someone has one of the bosses has a Tommy gun that shoots bees at you, and they will burrow into you and eat away at you, and they will slowly kill you. After the boss fight, if you don't get them out of you, they will kill you over time.
That happens in real life, doesn't it, with wasps? You know, they inject the larva into little caterpillars and watch the larva eat it away from the inside.
Okay, I'm ending this fucking episode. Fuck you guys.
Please
Fuck you guys.
Please.
Thanks for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 106. I need to do the fucking sponsor list. I forgot about that. Patreon, sign in.
Bees.
Signing in. Eventually. When it fucking feels like it. Okay, right. Patreon. Right. September patrons. I just got an email. Someone favorited the story that I updated recently. Okay. So, last month we received $10 from some guy. Some guy! Yay!
Yay!
Yay, some guy.
Yay!
$4. I'm gonna have to cut that, God damn it. Okay, what was the time code for that? That was 150.
Why are you cutting it?
Because I said his real name, because it comes up on Patreon.
Ah, okay.
That's not a cool thing to do. Okay. Cut name. There we go. So, scratch that. Trying again. We got $4 from Resden. Thank you, Resden.
Yay.
There we go. If I didn't cut out your name, yell at me, because that's not cool for me to do. To say the name without permission. So, $5 we got from Tempest Troper. Thank you, Tempest Troper. I keep donating $5. I appreciate it, but I don't know what still want the rewards or stuff, things. I don't know. Cool to hang out again. I'd be okay with that. Actually, fuck it. Get a microphone. Be on the podcast. Be cool. $10 from Arixum. We kind of wanted him to be on this episode, but he wasn't online when I was trying to contact him, so...
we'll put him on next episode with Moe.
If we can.
Yeah, holler at us, dog.
Yeah, you're going to have to get to me, like, earlier than a day before, mate. In fact, you didn't actually get to me because I didn't get the email. Because
Casey runs on Casey Standard Time. And his email doesn't work.
Apparently not, yeah. So, fucking PM me or something. We can work something out. Anyway, and we still record on Thursdays, so. And finally, Hugh donated $20 again. Long time no see, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
The reward was guest on an episode of the podcast, but I'm pretty sure the last time he donated was last year, so I think we can just say, okay, fuck it, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to be on an episode, let us know, and we can sort something out. So cool. Yeah, that guesting on the podcast, it's one time per person. If it's been a year, we'll probably say, yeah, okay, we can do it again. Just clarifying. So yeah, thanks for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 106. Thank you to all of our Patreon donators who support us every
month.
Yes, month. Words. Very much appreciated. We do cool stuff with it. Apparently Zero bought Undertale so he could play it on the fucking channel. Ken is buying hardware and software for his computer so he can do PS4 video content with Zero. I still have a bunch of games that I need to do on the fucking channel. Yeah. So we do appreciate it. We do stuff with it. I did buy some fucking video editing software, but that was fucking worthless because fucking Premiere is shit. It's broken. It doesn't fucking work on my system, even though it's... Anyway, yeah. So we do stuff with the money to put it towards the channel. So if you'd like to donate, we'd very much appreciate it. Once again, I would like to thank... and if you'd like to get in contact, you can do so through the YouTube channel with the comments. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined, because I feel like doing this rote. Once again, I would like to thank everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 106. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Go hug a bee.